Are you tired of losing control to anxiety, letting emotions hijack every critical decision in your life? In the next 90 minutes, you will learn not to just manage your inner storm, you will command it. This is not a self-help suggestion. This is a fact. Calm is a skill, and today you will master that skill on command every single time. Mold your mind, seize your breath, control your state. If you want power, if you want peace, listen up, because your life is about to change forever. Now let's begin. Chapter list and summaries. Chapter 1. Stop surrendering to chaos. You have been taught to respect chaos, to fear it, to bow to it. You see the alert, hear the chime, feel the rush, and you hand over the keys. You call it urgent. You call it life. But let's name it accurately. It's a habit. It's a trained reflex. It is not fate. You have a choice. That's the key. Chaos feels inevitable because your brain loves prediction. When prediction fails, it alarms. That alarm is ancient. It kept your ancestors alive. But you are not being chased by a tiger in your inbox. You are responding to uncertainty with a full-body panic signal that does not match the moment. You have a choice. Your focus determines your fate. That's the key. Here is the trap. Stress spikes. You surrender. You rush. You skip steps. You snap at people. You make sloppy moves. The mess grows. You feel more behind. You panic harder. That spiral rewards itself. It feels like action, but it is avoidance. It is not about being busy. It is about discipline. That's the key. Real life example. A team lead gets a late night message. Production is down. Heart races. Hands shake. They blast the chat. They reboot everything. They don't check logs. They don't call the right person. 10 minutes becomes 60. Revenue bleeds. Why? Not because of the outage. Because of surrender. Because they let panic run the system. Another lead, same message, different response. Step 1, breathe. Step 2, confirm the scope. Step 3, assign one note taker, one fixer, one communicator. Calm shrinks time. Panic expands damage. You have a choice. Another example, a parent hears a crash in the other room. They react with volume. The child freezes. The fear doubles. Now two people are dysregulated. Same event, different outcomes. The calm parent moves first. One breath, one scan, one clear instruction. Are you hurt? Step back. I've got it. Control rises. The room resets. That's the key. Chaos isn't a monster. Chaos is a signal. The signal says, uncertainty detected. Your body thinks the signal is the threat. It isn't. Your reaction is the multiplier. You are not in panic. You are not overwhelmed. You are the authority within chaos. Say it. I command calm. Again, I command calm. One more time. I command calm. You have trained a surrender response. We will retrain it. Not with wishful thinking, with drills, because calm is a skill. You build it like strength. Representatives sets recovery, then more reps. Drill 1, the 3-count break. When the spike hits, stop. Inhale for 3, hold for 3, exhale for 3, repeat 3 times. During the exhale, say, I'm safe. I have time. You are telling your nervous system the truth. You do have time for one breath. That's the key. Drill 2, the frame. Name the facts in one sentence. We lost the file. Not the story, not the blame, not the prophecy. Facts only. Then one next step. We restore from the latest backup. You cut the spiral by cutting the story. It's not about drama, it's about discipline. Drill 3, the box. Create a physical anchor for chaos, a notebook, a notes app, one page titled Noise. When distractions appear, texts, urges, impulses, you write them down, time-stamp them, and return to the task. You are not ignoring. You are scheduling. You are telling chaos where to sit. That's the key. Here's what most people get wrong. They wait to feel calm before acting. They outsource control to mood. You don't need their permission, not your mood, not your past. not other people's emergencies. You act first. Calm follows. Action creates the state. That's the key. Let's test it in a crisis simulation. Your phone buzzes. The subject line shouts, urgent, client angry. Your chest tightens. Pause. 3-count breath. Now facts. Client unhappy with delivery date. Next step, acknowledge. Offer options A and B. Draft the reply in 3 lines. Line 1, I hear your concern. Line 2, here are 2 solutions. Line 3, choose one by 3 p.m. Short, clear, calm, send. You chose a command. Another simulation. You are late. Traffic stalls. You feel the heat rise. Old habit, curse, weave, escalate. New habit, posture tall, loosen grip, 3-count breath. Frame the facts. I will be 10 minutes late. Next step, send ETA, adjust agenda. You do not earn respect by rushing badly. You earn it by leading under pressure. That's the key. Your brain is built for uncertainty. It seeks patterns. When it cannot predict, it guesses danger. Good. Let it guess. Your job is to decide. You have a choice. You bring your attention to the present task, not the whole mountain, just the next foothold. One line of code, one sentence in the email, one dish in the sink. Finish the next one. Momentum is medicine. Quick-fire mantras. Use them as levers. Short, repeatable. Command tone. This is a signal, not a threat. Facts first. Story later. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. I responded. I don't react. I command calm. Say them out loud. Say them. Chapter 2. Control your breath. Command your mind. You want control. Start where control begins. Start with breath. Breath is the remote. Breath sets the state. Your mind follows your lungs. That's the key. You have a choice. You can breathe shallow and frantic, or you can breathe deep and deliberate. One drains you. One commands you. Shallow breath is a weakness. Deep breath is command. Say it again. Deep breath is command. Here is the science in plain language. Inhale speeds the heart. Exhale slows it. Longer exhales recruit your parasympathetic system. That system is your brake pedal. It calms, it steadies, it restores. You can press that pedal on demand. You don't need their permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You need discipline. Athletes use it on the line. Soldiers use it under fire. CEOs use it before they speak. Different arenas, same lever. Breath first, performance second. They don't wait to feel ready. They are ready. They breathe. Most people let the moment breathe them. Don't. You will breathe the moment. That's the key. Here's what panic feels like in the body. Short inhales, no exhale. Shoulders up, jaw tight, chest locked. The brain reads those signals and shouts, danger. You can answer back with a pattern that says, safe. You do it with cadence. You do it with a ratio. You do it with repetition. Today, you build 3 drills. Simple, precise, repeatable. We are not chasing vibes. We are building control. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Drill 1, box breathing, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, sit tall. Breathe through the nose if you can. Keep it smooth. No strain. Run 4 rounds to start. Work up to 4 minutes. Use it before hard tasks. Use it when the room gets loud. Use it to reset between meetings. This is your baseline protocol. It boxes chaos in. It trains evenness. You have a choice. Drill 2, physiological size. 2 inhales, 1 long exhale. First inhale deep through the nose. Second, a quick top-up inhale. Then exhale long and slow through the mouth until empty. 1 sigh can downshift your system. 3 to 5 sighs can flip your state. Use this when the spike hits. Use it when you feel the heat rise. Use it to puncture a spiral before it forms. That's the key. Drill 3, extended exhale cadence. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8, or inhale 3, exhale 6. Keep the exhale longer. No forcing, just longer. Do 5 minutes. Feel the heart settle. Feel the body drop a gear. This is your calm builder. This is how you say to your nervous system, we are safe. You don't need their permission. Put these drills to work in the real world. Scenario 1, the alarm email. Your chest tightens. Step 1, one physiological sigh. Step 2, 1 minute of 4 to 8 breathing. Step 3, write facts and next action. You took command. Scenario 2, public speaking. Backstage, hands cold. My mouth is dry. Run 2 minutes of box breathing, then 3 sighs, then repeat, I am ready. I am steady. Walk out. Speak slowly. Pause often. Breath leads voice. Voice leads the room. That's the key. Scenario 3, conflict at home. Voices rise. Old patterns load. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Say less. Listen more. Use the breath to lengthen the gap between trigger and response. It's not about winning the argument. It's about discipline. You might ask, how often? Daily. Non-negotiable. 5 minutes minimum. 10 is better. Small sets throughout the day are ideal. You don't wait for the storm to learn to swim. You train when the waters are calm. Then you carry the skill into the waves. That's the key. Build your breath command routine. Morning primer, 3 to 5 minutes. 4 to 8 cadence. Set your baseline calm. Plan your first move from that state. Midday reset, 2 minutes. Box breathing between blocks of work. Clear residue, start fresh. Spike protocol, 30 to 90 seconds. 3 to 5 physiological signs on demand. Cut adrenaline. Reclaim clarity. Evening downshift, 5 minutes. 4 to 8 cadence in dim light. No screens. Tell your system it's safe to power down. This is training. This is identity. Calm is who you are becoming. You have a choice. Common mistakes to avoid. Forcing the breath. If you strain, you signal a threat. Keep it smooth. Keep it easy. Chasing numbers over feeling. Ratios are tools, not trophies. The goal is state control, inconsistency. Power comes from repetition, not from novelty, not from hacks, from practice. Forgetting posture, collapsed chest, locked ribs, and clenched jaw restrict breath. Sit tall, unlock the cage, make space for the inhale. Make time for the exhale. That's the key. Use anchors to remember. Tie breathing to doors. Every time you touch a doorknob, one slow exhale. Tie it to notifications. Every buzz, one nasal inhale, one longer exhale. Tie it to transitions. Before starting a call, 3 box breaths. Before hitting send on a heated message, 1. Chapter 3. Fact check your fear. Fear arrives loud. It feels final. It feels like destiny. It isn't. Fear is data. Fear is a signal. Fear is not a sentence. You have a choice. That's the key. Say it with me. Is this fear fact or fiction? Again, is this fear fact or fiction? One more time. Is this fear fact or fiction? You will use this question like a scalpel. You will cut the story away from the signal. You will separate noise from truth. It's not about drama. It's about discipline. Most anxiety is a story problem. Your brain predicts. It fills blanks. It imagines loss. It tries to keep you safe by painting worst-case pictures. Useful at times, dangerous when unchecked. The fix is not to suppress fear. The fix is to interrogate it. You have a choice. Here's the framework. 4 steps. Fast. Repeatable. Name the alarm. 1 sentence. I'm afraid I'll fail this presentation. Surface the story. If I fail, I'll get fired. If I get fired, I'll lose everything. Extract the facts. I presented 3 times. 2 went fine. I prepared slides. I have 20 minutes. Choose the next testable action. Rehearse the opener twice. Ask for 1 clarifying question. That's the key. We'll use 3 tools. A BCCRISP and OODA Lite. Tool 1, ABC from Cognitive Behavioral Practice. A equals activating event. B equals beliefs about it. C equals consequences you feel and do. The pivot happens at B, change B, and C changes. Example. A, the manager moved my deadline. B, old. They hate my work. I'm doomed. C, panic, paralysis, procrastination. New B, deadlines move. My job is to plan a response. New C, calm email, proposal for scope, adjusted plan. You don't need their permission. You need clarity. Tool 2, crisp. 5 rapid questions to reality check fear. C, concrete. What exactly will happen? R, reliable. What is my evidence? I, internal or external. What can I control? S, scale. On a 1 to 10, what is the real impact? P, proportion. What would I advise a friend? Run crisp in 60 seconds. Write answers. See what's real. That's the key. Tool 3, OODA light for emotions. Observe, orient, decide, act. Observe the spike. Orient with facts. Decide the smallest next test. Act within 2 minutes. Loop until the fear shrinks. It's not about perfection. It's about discipline. Now case studies, real stakes, real choices. Leader under fire. A CTO gets an alert. Security anomaly. Fear surges. Story loads. We're breached. Reputation destroyed. He stops. Observe. One anomalous IP. Orient. Access limited to staging. Decide. Isolate server. Pull logs. Act. 10 minutes. Update. No production access. He broadcasts facts, not fear. Is this fear fact or fiction? In this case, fiction. The protocol was held. He didn't let the story steer. That's the key. First responder. Apartment fire. Thick smoke. Panic screams. A rookie feels tunnel vision. Old story. I can't handle this. New habit. One breath. One question. Fact or fiction? Fact. Fire is contained to the kitchen. Fact. 2 occupants accounted for. Fact. Thermal camera shows 1 heat source. Next action. Cut power. Door control. Water on the base. Fear narrows. Mission sharpens. Lives saved. You don't need their permission. Everyday parent. Child late from school. Phone dead. Story explodes. Accidents, danger, loss. Stop. Facts practice ran long last week. The bus is often 15 minutes late. My neighbor saw the bus 5 minutes ago. Next action, call school, check bus tracker, text coach. The child walks in 3 minutes later. Fear was fiction. The discipline was the difference. Entrepreneur, investor meeting tomorrow. Brain whispers, if you don't impress, it's over. That's fiction. Fact, 1 meeting is 1 data point. Fact, she has paying customers. Fact, 12-minute deck, 3 proof points, 1 ask. She rewrites the belief. My goal is clarity, not approval. She practices the close. She sleeps. She delivers. That's the key. Practical drills to break fear stories fast. Drill 1, the 3-column reality check. Column 1, fear thoughts, word for word. Column 2, counter evidence, specific, dated, observable. Column 3, replacement belief, short, actionable, testable. Example 1, I always choke in interviews. 2, 3 interviews this year, 2 offers. 3, I prepare a 60-second story for each role. I breathe before answering. Do this daily for 1 week. You are building a new reflex. You have a choice. Drill 2, 90-second disputation. Set a timer. Speak aloud. State the fear. List 3 facts that weaken it. Declare 1 next step you will do now. Do it before the timer ends. Speed beats spiral. Action bleeds anxiety. It's not about rumination. It's about discipline. Drill 3, fiction flagging. Pick a phrase to tag your stories. My brain is brainstorming disasters. Say it with a half smile. It disarms the tale. Then ask, what's the tiniest proof I can collect? Send the email, run the query, check the calendar, replace imagination with information. That's the key. Environment matters. Fear feeds on ambiguity, isolation. Chapter 4, break the spiral. Interrupt anxiety. Fast anxiety spirals are not fate. They are loops. Loops can be broken. You have a choice. That's the key. A spiral starts the same way almost every time. A trigger, a thought, a surge, a story, a reaction. Repeat. The mistake is thinking you must ride it to the end. You don't. You command the stop button. Use it. Use it fast. Use it first. You don't need their permission. Pattern interruption is the discipline. It is not polite. It is not subtle. It is decisive. You cut the loop before it completes. You replace momentum with mastery. It's not about perfection. It's about discipline. Here's your rule. Never let a spiral complete. When you notice the spin, you intervene within 10 seconds. 10, not 60, not later. 10, that's the key. You will master a simple sequence. Snap, shift, set. 3 steps. Always in that order. Snap, disrupt the body signal. Shift, redirect attention to something specific and controllable. Set, lock a small next action, every spiral. Same sequence. You have a choice. Step 1, snap, physiology first. Break the surge. Cold override, splash icy water on your cheeks and around your eyes, or press a cold pack across your face for 20 to 30 seconds. This can trigger the dive reflex and slow your heart rate. Use a sink, a bowl, or a cold compress. You can repeat once if needed. Safety first if you have cardiac issues. That's the key. Physiological size. 2 quick nasal inhales, 1 long mouth exhale, 3 to 5 rounds. It drops arousal fast. You don't need their permission. Posture reset. Stand tall. Roll shoulders back. Unclench the jaw. Eyes up. Expand the ribs. A collapsed body tells a panic story. An open body tells a command story. Power walk. 60 seconds at a brisk pace. Arms swing. Eyes on horizon. Count steps to 60. Movement eats adrenaline. Step 2. Shift. Attention next. Put your mind on rails. 5 to 1 grounding. Name 5 things you see. 4 you feel. 3 you hear. 2 you smell. 1 you taste. Out loud if you can. You are relocating your mind from imagination to information. That's the key. Box count. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4 for 4 rounds. Count it like beats. Precision over panic. Object focus. Pick 1 item in the room. Describe it in ruthless detail for 30 seconds. Color, texture, shape. Specificity kills spirals. Step 3, set. Behavior closes the loop. Lock the smallest useful move. Write 1 sentence of facts. What happened? Then 1 sentence of action. What I will do next. 2-minute task. Start the smallest piece of the real work. Send the update. Open the doc. Wash 3 dishes. Start the timer. Motion beats rumination. You have a choice. Your 10-second protocol, memorize this. Cold, breath, word, move. Cold, touch cold, or imagine an ice cube in your palm if nothing's available. Breath, 1 physiological sigh. Word, say, stop. I choose move. Take 1 step toward the task or away from the trigger. That's the key. Scenarios to install the habit. The email ambush. Subject line screams urgent. Your chest spikes. Snap. Cold to face for 20 seconds or 1 physiological sigh. Shift. 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 or box count. Set reply template with 3 lines. Acknowledge, options, A/B, decision time. You control the loop. Social media spiral. You start scrolling, heart rate climbs, outrage rising. Snap, stand and walk for 60 seconds. Shift, eyes to horizon, count 30 posts you will not read. Set, app limiter on for the next hour. Open your work doc. You commanded attention, nighttime ruminations. The brain plays highlight reels of regret. Snap, sit up, feet on floor, long exhale to empty. Shift, object focus on the doorknob for 30 seconds. Set, write down tomorrow's first 3 actions, then 4 to 8 breathing for 5 minutes. You close the loop. Make a pattern interruption kit. Pick cold source, gel pack or bag of frozen peas. Timer, set 60-second and 2-minute presets. Cards, 1 grounding script, 1 reply template, 1 mantra. Environment, clear your desk, set a standing spot. Keep shoes by the door for a quick walk. You are building friction against spirals and gliding for recovery. That's the key. Mantras for interruption. Every loop is a choice. Stop, I choose, move the body. Quiet the mind. Facts first. Story later. Never let a spiral complete. Say them bluntly, say them often. Install them as reflexes. Behavioral constraints that protect you. Notification windows. 15-minute slots 3 times a day. Everything else is muted. If it's a real emergency, they will call twice. You don't need their permission. Space cues, no phone in the bedroom, no laptop on the couch, one surface for work, one for rest. Location instructs the nervous system. Micro commitments. If the task feels heavy, commit to 2 minutes. If 2 feels heavy, commit to 30 seconds. Momentum over mood. Common traps and fixes. Trap, waiting to feel calm before you interrupt. Fix, interrupt to feel calm. Action first. Trap, arguing with spirals. Chapter 5. Build rituals that armor. Your day routines are force fields, and every day either begins with armor or with exposure, which means there is a choice to build defense before the world attacks focus, and that's the key. Morning anchors, midday resets, and evening reviews are not lifestyle extras but operational necessities for nervous system stability and consistent output, and that's the key. Ownership of schedule is ownership of state, and ownership of state is ownership of results, which means there is no permission required from anyone to install ritual and reclaim calm. Your routine is your refuge because predictable sequences reduce decision fatigue and keep the prefrontal cortex in charge, not the panic loop. And that's the key. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline, because rituals run when moods won't, and that's what separates professionals from dabblers. You have a choice to build habit rails that carry through rough days or to ride raw willpower and crash midweek, and the data favors rails over heroics every time. Morning anchors. Set the thermostat of the day on purpose, not by accident, because the early window is biologically primed for state setting, and that's the key. The cortisol awakening response spikes within 30 to 45 minutes of waking. So stack actions that guide that surge instead of letting notifications hijack it, and that's the key. Keep it simple and consistent, because habit strength grows from repetition, not complexity, and you don't need anyone's permission to keep it basic and effective. Morning armor protocol, 10 to 15 minutes. Light and hydrate. Get outdoor light or bright indoor light within 30 minutes of waking, and drink water to signal on, because light and hydration calibrate alertness and reduce groggy indecision. Breath and posture. 2 minutes of extended exhale breathing with tall posture to steady the autonomic system before inputs, because calm first is clarity later, and that's the key. Intention set. Write 1 line for the day's outcome and 3 needle-moving tasks, because clarity before activity prevents chaotic busyness, and that's discipline. Real story, CEO. Before investor calls, a founder runs 5 minutes of breath, reads a 1-paragraph why we exist, and reviews a 3-line agenda. So meetings start with signal, not noise, and outcomes compound quarter over quarter, and that's the key. Real story, creative. An author begins with a no internet until 500 words rule after a 2-minute breathing primer, turning mornings into guaranteed progress, not hopeful attempts, and that's the key. Real story, warrior. A leader uses a pre-brief ritual of posture, breath, and 3 checks to reduce errors under pressure, proving ritual beats adrenaline when stakes rise, and you have a choice to do the same. Midday resets. Micro breaks preserve vigor, reduce fatigue, and prevent cognitive drift, which means the second half of the day can be strong instead of sloppy, and that's the key. The meta-analysis on micro breaks shows reliable boost to energy and reduced fatigue, with longer brief breaks helping performance more, especially after demanding tasks, which validates planned pauses over white-knuckle marathons. It's not about laziness, it's about discipline, because disciplined recovery is a performance tool, not a luxury, and that's the key. Midday reset protocol, 5 to 7 minutes, 2 to 3 times per day. Move and breathe. Stand, walk briskly for 2 minutes, and run 2 rounds of box breathing to clear residue and restore attention, because motion plus breath resets the loop, and that's the key. Green glance or horizon view. 60 to 120 seconds looking at distant or natural views supports mood and attentional recovery better than staring at the task pane, which preserves quality for the next block, and that's the key. Micro-plan the next 60 to 90 minutes. 1 minute to define the single outcome in the first action, because clarity kills friction before it starts, and you don't need their permission to pause and plan. Real story, product team lead, after lunch, a 5-minute reset routine eliminates the slump by pairing a short walk, a light exposure by a window, and a single outcome plan for the next block, keeping error rates low late day, and that's the key. Real story, designer, scheduling a 2-minute palate cleanse of breath and horizon view between clients prevents emotional carryover and preserves creative quality, and that's the key. Real story, operations manager, a standing micro break alarm every 90 minutes correlates with fewer mistakes in data entry and a steadier mood, proving resets pay for themselves, and that's discipline. Evening reviews. Closure frees the mind because unclosed loops drive intrusive thought via the Zeigarnik effect, stealing sleep, presence, and patience. And that's the key. The shutdown ritual, review, capture, plan, tells the brain the day is handled so it can release the wheel and recover fully, and you have a choice. Chapter 6, Kill the Noise, Destroy Digital Distraction. Truth, every unchecked notification is a thief of peace, and each ping is a demand on working memory that taxes focus, slows performance, and spikes stress, and that's the key. Modern life is engineered to fracture attention with variable rewards and infinite feeds that hook the brain's reward system and keep it craving the next hit, not the next result. And that's the key. You have a choice to design a digital environment that serves goals or to be served up as the product, and you don't need their permission to take control today, not tomorrow. Let's be clear, context switching has a cost, and the cost is compounding because each interruption creates a resumption lag and drains cognitive resources, which is why the day feels scattered and the work looks shallow, and that's the key. Studies show turning off or batching notifications improves performance and reduces strain by preventing constant task fragmentation, which proves fewer pings equals more progress. Period. It's not about willpower, it's about discipline, because disciplined settings beat heroic focus in a hostile environment every time, and that's the key. Understand the game being played against attention. Social platforms run on variable reward schedules, like a slot machine, where uncertainty drives dopamine and compulsion, not satisfaction, and that's the key. Infinite scroll removes stopping cues, and algorithmic feeds prioritize emotional arousal for longer sessions. Not better lives, which means the design is the drag-on piece, and that's the key. You have a choice to remove the hooks, add friction, and reclaim a brain built for depth, not dopamine drip, and you don't need their permission to do it fast. Now the work, remove, silence, reclaim. 3 phases, no excuses. Phase 1, remove, delete the biggest hooks from the home screen. Move addictive apps off page 1, or delete and use browser-only access with saved logins removed because seconds of friction save hours of life, and that's the key. Kill infinite scroll where possible. Use web versions with blockers or reading mode to reintroduce stopping cues because endings protect attention, and that's discipline. Disable badges. Red dots are bait. They inflate perceived urgency and trigger checking loops, and you have a choice to starve the loop at the source. Phase 2, silence. Turn off push notifications for all non-human, non-urgent apps because the research is blunt. Fewer interruptions, better performance, less strain, and that's the key. Batch the rest. Create 3 inbox windows per day for email and messages with VIP overrides for true emergencies because batching cuts switching costs and preserves deep work blocks, and you don't need their permission to answer later with clarity. Use Do Not Disturb with a whitelist. Family, team lead, and mission-critical calls only, because access is a privilege, not a right, and boundaries are leadership. Phase 3, reclaim. Set device curfews. No screens 60 minutes after waking and 60 minutes before sleep, because those windows set state and recovery for the whole day. and that's the key. Install focus blocks. 2 to 3, 60 to 90-minute sessions daily with all alerts off and apps closed because depth pays the bills and noise empties them. And that's discipline. Replace doom loops with design loops. Read long form, walk without audio, or do 5 minutes of breath during urges because replacement breaks habit chains better than raw suppression, and you have a choice. Drastic steps when needed. 24-hour digital fast once a week or a weekend per month, which research links to improvements in mood, sleep, focus, and sustained lower usage afterward. And that's the key. App locks during work hours with whitelisted tools only because constraint creates freedom and forces flow, and you don't need their permission to lock the door on distraction. Account curation, unfollow outrage and low-value novelty, subscribe to sources aligned with goals, turn off autoplay, remove For You feeds and use manual lists because algorithms aren't neutral. They're designed to capture, not to serve, and that's the key. Concrete protocols to run today. Notification. Reset. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Leave only calls and calendar. Schedule 3 check windows at 11, 2, and 5. Then track energy at day's end because results will show in one day, and that's the key. Deep work sprint. Block 90 minutes, shut everything, full screen the task, and keep a distraction pad for stray thoughts. After, log output versus typical because measurement builds belief and you have a choice. Urge surfing. When the impulse to check hits, wait 60 seconds, breathe with a longer exhale, label the urge, and return to task. Urges crest and fall if not fed, which rewires compulsion into control, and that's discipline. Mantras to install. My focus is mine alone. No device will command me. Say it at the start of each focus block. Chapter 7. Outsmart your triggers. Triggers are not traps. They are signals. They point to patterns. They reveal leverage. You have a choice. That's the key. A trigger is anything that lights your fuse. A person, a place, a smell, a tone, a bill, a headline, a room, a memory. External or internal. Loud or subtle. The fuse is not fate. The fuse is feedback. It tells you where to train. It tells you where to prepare. It tells you where to win. You don't need their permission. Most people discover triggers during the explosion. Too late. Professionals discover triggers in advance. They map them. They plan for them. They rehearse responses. That is discipline. That's the key. Start with ruthless clarity. Build a trigger map. 3 columns. No fluff. Column 1, trigger. Be specific. Slack ping from Alex at 4 p.m. Unexpected bill over $300. Crowded subway after 6 p.m. Silence after sending a risky email. Social media conflict. Name the exact cue. Use time, place, and people. Column 2, typical reaction. Honest and short. Jaw clenches. I scroll. I argue. I avoid it. Panic. I catastrophize. I overspend time. Heart spikes. I rush. No judgment, just data. Column 3, command response. A pre-decided move. Physiological sigh. 4 to 8 breathing. Clarify the task. Open budget. List options. A/B/C. Send plan. Exit train. 1 block walk. Re-enter. No replies for 24 hours. Write longhand and delete. You are designing choices you can execute. That's the key. Now load ammunition. If, then plans. This is how intention becomes behavior. If XQ appears, then Y action fires. Automatic. No debate, no delay. You will write them. You will carry them. You will run them. That's discipline. Examples. If the bill is higher than expected, then open the budget sheet, categorize the variance, and send a 2-option plan within 30 minutes. If the room gets crowded and noisy, then step out, perform 3 physiological sighs, and re-enter on the next car or at the next stop. If a hostile comment tags the account, then screenshot, add to, review Friday folder, and log off the app for 60 minutes. If Alex pings at 4 p.m., then run 1 box breathing round, ask 1 clarifying question, and propose 1 concrete next step. If a meeting runs long, then decline new topics and schedule a follow-up. Calm is a boundary, not a mood. You are moving your behavior under stimulus control. You are telling the nervous system, when this cue arrives, this response happens. No story, no spiral, just execution. You have a choice. That's the key. Now install coping ahead. Imagine the trigger before it happens. Rehearse your response. See yourself executing it well. Feel the body stay steady. Hear the words come clean. This is mental reps for emotional strength. 10 out of 10 performers do this. So will you. Coping ahead script. Describe the situation in one sentence. Tomorrow I will receive feedback I fear. Select the skill. Long exhale breathing and fact-first questions. Rehearse the steps. One physiological sigh before opening. Read once without reply. Write 3 facts in one question. Reply after a 5-minute walk. Run it in your mind 3 times, then run it in reality. That's the key. You will meet common triggers. Prepare precise plays. Trigger, social media conflict. Old reaction, argue, refresh, spiral. New response. If tagged, then no reply for 24 hours. Move to the Friday review file. 3 sighs. Write a longhand draft and destroy it. Reply only if it serves a business goal or a principle you have declared in advance. It's not about ego, it's about discipline. Trigger, unexpected bills. Old reaction, panic, avoidance, delay decisions. New response, if a bill exceeds the threshold by X dollars, then open the budget within 15 minutes. Label, temporary, recurring, or error. Draft a 2-option adjustment plan. Send any necessary email in 3 lines. Acknowledge, propose, time-bound next step. Money respects clarity. That's the key. Trigger, crowded spaces. Old reaction, shallow breath, urge to escape, irritability. New response. If crowded, then eyes on horizon, loosen jaw, long exhale. If the body stays agitated after 2 minutes, exit 1 stop early, walk 1 block, re-enter. You do not need their permission to take space. Calm first. Movement second. That's discipline. Trigger, silent delays. Old reaction, mind reading, doom, compulsive checking. New response. If no reply by X time, then schedule a check-in message at Y time, log it, and return to the task list. Silence is not verdict. Silence is silence. Facts first, story later. That's the key. Trigger, specific people and tones. Old reaction, defense, rapid speech, collapsing boundaries. New response, if person P uses a sharp tone, then pause, 1 breath, reflect back the ask in 1 sentence, and offer 1 option. Never defend your worth. Define the work. Calm is the boundary. The boundary is calm. Trigger, time pressure. Old reaction, rush, skip steps, create rework. New response. Chapter 8, upgrade. Your inner voice relentlessly. The voice inside the head is either a coach or a saboteur, and the choice is not passive. It is trained, repeated, and enforced until the soundtrack serves the mission, and that's the key. Internal language directs attention, and attention directs action, so upgrading the narration upgrades performance under pressure. Not someday, but now, and that's the key. You don't need their permission to command the voice. The voice works for the mission, not for the mood, and you have a choice. Here is the truth. Negative self-accusation is not honesty. It is poor coaching, and poor coaching loses games, while precise self-instruction wins them, consistently, measurably, and on cue, and that's the key. Research across sports and performance shows that self-talk, especially instructional, action-focused self-talk, improves execution, learning, confidence, and persistence, because clear commands beat vague criticism every time, and that's the key. It's not about ego, it's about discipline, because disciplined language creates disciplined movement under stress, and that's the key. The rule is simple. Replace accusation with command, replace identity attacks with process cues, replace I can't with do this now, and repeat until the body follows the words, and that's the key. Turn "I can't handle this" into "watch me command this." And repeat until emotion bends to instruction, because repetition is installation, not decoration, and that's the key. You have a choice to run phrases that build power rather than drain it, and that choice is made sentence by sentence, rep by rep, moment by moment. Use the two lanes of elite self-talk, instructional and motivational, and know when to use each because timing matters, and that's the key. Instructional is for execution, keywords and steps. Breathe long, shoulders down, eyes up. Speak slow, use during the task to guide precision under load, and that's the key. Motivational is for state, energy, and grit. Strong, steady, keep going. Used to sustain effort and push through discomfort, but never as a substitute for steps, because steps drive results, and that's discipline. Build the inner command protocol in 3 parts: detect, direct, drill, and run it daily until it runs itself, and that's the key. Part 1. Detect. Catch the sabotage scripts in real time by labeling them, because unnamed noise is hard to counter, and labeled noise loses power, and that's the key. Common sabotage phrases: "I always mess this up." "They'll see I'm a fraud." "It's pointless." "I can't handle this," which are distortions, not data, and must be called out as such, and that's the key. Use a trigger tag, say "not helpful." Reframe now to switch from rumination to instruction, because one command can flip the channel, and you have a choice. Part 2. Direct. Replace the script with a command stack. 3 short imperatives that move the body and the task forward, because direction beats description, and that's the key. Example for a presentation: breathe long, eyes on 3 faces, pause after the point, which is precise, controllable, and state-shaping, and that's the key. Example for conflict: lower voice, reflect their ask. Offer option A or B, which installs calm and clarity through steps, not feelings, and that's discipline. Anchor identity with a power line: "I am the commander, not the captive," spoken on the exhale. To link physiology with belief so the body remembers under heat, and that's the key. Part 3. Drill. Practice out loud in low-stakes reps, because muscle memory for language is real, and trained words arrive faster under stress, and that's the key. Run 2-minute daily drills. Pick a task, state the 3-step command, execute slowly, and repeat twice. Track which phrasing produces the cleanest action, because testing tunes a language, and that's discipline. Tie commands to cues using if-then plans. If I feel the heart spike, then I say, long exhale, shoulders down, speak slow. So cues in the wild trigger commands automatically without debate, and you don't need their permission to automate control. Build a command lexicon: short, sharp, repeatable. This is not poetry, this is performance language, and that's the key. State commands: long exhale, shoulders down, eyes up. 1 sentence. Action commands: write the opener, send the draft, ask the question, close the tab. Boundary commands: not now. Later window: 1 reply, end here. Identity commands: I lead my state, I command calm, I finish strong. I am the commander, not the captive. Print them, post them, say them, drill them. The lexicon becomes a lever when it is used often, and that's the key. Now integrate cognitive restructuring for stubborn thoughts. Identify, challenge, replace, and act, because belief change without action is wishful thinking, and that's the key. Identify the thought: I'll fail because I always freeze, and write it down to P. Chapter 9. Harness stillness as a weapon. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is control. Stillness is a force multiplier. When the room panics, the still mind chooses. When noise rises, the still mind cuts through. You have a choice. That's the key. Calm is not passive. Calm is active inhibition. Calm is the deliberate withholding of dumb moves. Real calm means thousands of power plays never made. Real calm is restraint, precision, timing. It's not about hype, it's about discipline. Here's the truth in plain language. Stillness sharpens attention. Even 10 minutes of focused mindfulness can improve executive control in beginners. 10 minutes, not 10 years. 10 minutes to boost attentional stability and cut mental drift. You have a choice. That's the key. Stillness increases response inhibition. That means fewer impulsive actions under emotional heat. That means fewer "I shouldn't have said that" moments. That means more "I chose that on purpose" moves. The data backs it. The practice proves it. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. Stillness raises the ceiling on thinking. Working memory steadies. Clarity rises. Rumination drops. When rumination drops, decisions accelerate. When decisions accelerate, outcomes improve. Calm speeds truth. Calm kills noise. That's the key. Stories matter. Look at the best. Martial artists who breathe under pressure. They wait. They read. They respond on time. Not early. They weaponize quiet focus. No flinch. No waste. The strike lands because the mind didn't. Chess champions sit in silence for hours, training the one skill that wins endgames. Unbroken attention. They don't chase ghosts. They calculate. They commit. Monks train stillness as a daily discipline, not to escape life, but to change their relationship to it. They watch the storm without becoming it. Calm is learned. Calm is trained. Calm is earned. You don't need their permission to practice stillness. You don't need special gear. You don't need a mountain temple. You need a chair. You need 10 minutes. You need a timer. That's the key. Here is the protocol. Simple, direct, repeatable. The 10-minute weapon posture. Sit upright, feet grounded, hands resting, eyes closed or softly downcast, spine long. This is alert stillness, not a nap. You have a choice. Breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale longer than the inhale. No strain. Let the exhale be the anchor. That's the key. Focus. Pick one target, the sensation of breath at the nose, or the rise and fall of the chest, or a single point between the eyes. One target, not 10. Practice. When the mind wanders, and it will, notice it without judgment. Label it thinking. Return to the target. That return is the REP. That's discipline. Time. Set 10 minutes. Just 10. When the urge to quit appears at minute 3, stay. When it appears at minute 8, stay. The urge is the drill. The return is the win. Understand this. The goal is not to feel zen. The goal is to train control. Each time attention drifts and returns, a circuit strengthens. Each saved return in practice becomes a saved reaction in life. That's the key. Add the 2-minute micro stillness between blocks of work. 2 minutes. Eyes closed. Long exhale. One target. Reset. Return. These micro resets recover attention and reduce error. Use them before hard decisions. Use them after conflict. Use them before speaking when stakes are high. You don't need their permission. Pair stillness with commands. On the inhale, observe. On the exhale, return. Inhale, I choose. Exhale, calm now. Language guides state. State guides action. Action guides results. That's the key. The 3 laws of stillness. Law 1, no chasing. Thoughts appear. Let them pass. Don't fight. Don't follow. Note and return. It's not about suppression. It's about discipline. Law 2, no scoring. Some sessions feel smooth. Some feel messy. Both count. The rep is the return, not the feeling. That's the key. Law 3, no negotiation. 10 minutes means 10 minutes. Sit on the timer. When the mind bargains, smile and continue. You have a choice. Drills that weaponize stillness in real life. Drill. The pre-decision pause. Before sending the high-stakes message or making the call, sit for 1 minute. Long exhale. Ask one question. What outcome am I choosing? Then write the first sentence that serves that outcome. Send only after the sentence is clean. That's discipline. Drill. The conflict gap. When voices rise, do not fill the space. Own the silence. 1 long exhale. 2 seconds of quiet. Then speak 1 sentence that begins with a fact, not a feeling. Stillness disarms escalation. That's the key. Drill, the endgame review. At day's end, 2 minutes of stillness. Breathe. Watch the reel of the day without judgment. Pick one moment where stillness would have saved energy. Visualize the do-over with calm. Install tomorrow's response. Repetition turns reflection into readiness. Case snapshots. A fighter delays the counterpunch by a half beat after reading. Chapter 10. Make calm your new default. Calm is not a party trick. Calm is identity. Calm is policy. Calm is the standard that does not move when the world shakes. You have a choice. That's the key. This chapter is simple. Identity first, system second, outcomes third. Most do it backward, chasing results without becoming the person who produces them. Flip it. Become the person first. Behaviors follow identity like iron to a magnet. You don't need their permission. Say it clearly. Calm is who you are, not a mood you visit when life behaves. Identity drives consistency because identity hates internal conflict. When the identity is calm commander, choices align. The easiest decision becomes the disciplined one. That's the key. Install the 3 pillars that make identity stick: declarations, designs, and data. Declarations define who is in charge. Designs make the day obey the declaration. Data proves the change and kills doubt. It's not about hype, it's about discipline. Pillar 1, declarations. Write the identity in present tense. I choose calm. I live calmly. I am calm. Place it where eyes land daily. Speak it first thing each morning. Speak it before hard actions. Speak it when the storm hits. Repetition wires identity faster than intention. That's the key. Use self-affirmation to reduce defensiveness against change. Affirm values, then accept instructions. I am the kind of person who leads with clarity and steadiness. This opens the gate for new behavior instead of resisting it. You have a choice. Pair declarations with a cue. If feet hit the floor, then say the identity line. If the laptop opens, then read the day's top 3 commands. Implementation intentions turn words into reflexes. That's discipline. Pillar 2, designs. Design the day to make calm automatic. Guard the first and last 60 minutes. Use the breathing primers. Use the stillness blocks. Use the focus windows. When the environment supports identity, identity stops fighting the environment. That's the key. Write if-then plans for common attacks on calm. If a meeting runs hot, then pause, reflect back, offer A/B. If social media bait appears, then screenshot, file for Friday, log off. Plans beat panic. You don't need their permission. Remove cheap wins that pay in dopamine but tax identity. This is identity stimulus control. Hide the slot machines. Surface the tools. Make the calm choice the easy choice. It's not about willpower, it's about discipline. Pillar 3, data. Track the behavior, not the belief. Use a calm ledger, each day mark. Breath done, Y or N. Stillness done, Y or N. Triggers handled, count. Spirals interrupted, count. Digital windows obeyed, Y or N. When doubt shouts, data answers. That's the key. Measure streaks weekly, not daily. Identity cares about the arc, not perfection. Weekly review sustains momentum and reduces all or nothing collapse. Keep the streaks visible. You have a choice. Post-crisis replays. After any spike, run a quick after-action review. What was the intent? What happened? What went well? What will change next time? Document. Decide. Deploy growth becomes scheduled, not accidental. That's discipline. Run the calm identity sprint for 30 days. This is the conversion from doing calm to being calm. Week 1, declare and prime. Morning, identity line plus breath primer. I choose calm. I live calmly. I am calm. Then 4 to 8 breathing for 2 minutes. Declare, breathe, begin. That's the key. Midday, 1 stillness block and 1 deep work window. Reduce noise by design. You don't need their permission. Track, checkboxes only. No essays. Build proof fast. It's not about flair, it's about discipline. Week 2, Design and defend. Install if-then plans for the top 5 triggers. Put them on a card. Use them live. Plans convert stress to reps. That's the key. Strengthen boundaries. Batch messages, DND windows, curated feeds. Identity is expressed by what is allowed to enter, not just what is done. You have a choice. Track, add triggers handled, count. Watch the number go up as fear goes down. Data builds identity. Week 3, data and decision. Add daily after-action reviews for any spike. 2 minutes. Capture lesson. Update plan. The loop is event, learning, upgrade, repeat. That's the key. Add one accountability check. Share the identity and the metrics with a trusted partner weekly. Ask for a single prompt. Run your plan. Accountability locks consistency. You don't need their permission. Track, measure recovery time from trigger to traction. Watch it shrink. This is the command becoming default. Week 4, cement and scale. Raise standards, increase stillness to 12 minutes. Add one extra focus block. Refine if-then plans based on logs. Scale after stability. That's discipline. Future-proof. Write an identity contingency. When sick, traveling, or in a crisis, I keep the minimum viable calm. 2-minute breath, 2-minute stillness, one if-then plan. No 0 days. You have a choice. Track. Weekly scorecard, not daily judge. Here's your truth. Calm is not for the lucky. It's for the trained, the relentless, the ones who decide that chaos never gets the final word. Each breath you take is an order to your mind. Each trigger you face is a practice ground for your strength. Rituals are your armor. Stillness is your weapon. Interrupt the spiral, challenge the fear, kill the noise, upgrade your voice, and own your triggers every single day. Refuse the myth of overwhelm. Refuse to be enslaved by your emotions, your devices, or your circumstances. From this day forward, calm is your new instinct, not because you wish it, but because you chose it and made it non-negotiable. So here's your challenge. Prove to yourself, starting right now, that you can command calm. On demand, under fire, until peace is your default setting. You are the command. Now get up, act, and live this truth. Calm is yours. Take it.